If you've been dealing with some back pain, maybe even some sciatica pain, today's video is me going over some exercises you can do to hopefully release a little bit of pain and get a little bit better range of motion in. Let's get started. We're gonna be using a mat to perform some of the exercises. We're gonna come down to the ground. We are going to start off with our back on the ground. We're gonna have our feet about hip width distance apart. We're gonna be doing glute bridges with a 10-second hold. So as I lift my hips, I'm gonna squeeze my butt, getting my hips as high as I can, and then we're gonna hold here for 10 seconds. So you could use your watch, you could use your phone, hold for 10 seconds. Once you come back down, you release, and you're gonna perform this for 10 sets. So the focus here is to constantly be squeezing your glutes and your hamstrings as you sit in this top of the glute bridge position. So 10-second hold, then we'll come back down. You're gonna repeat this again 10 total times. After those 10 repetitions, you're then going to tuck your lower back. Think of rounding your lower back. So you're not tucking your pelvis in. You're gonna grab your knees and you're slowly gonna pull this thigh into your torso. Now I will say, if you have extreme sciatic pain and lots of pinching in your glute or middle of your butt or back, this may not be the best exercise for you. I'm just showcasing some exercises that have helped me. So I'm gonna slowly grab my knees and pull into a tuck. Then I'm slowly gonna drop my heels to the floor. But as I do this, I wanna make sure I keep my lower abs engaged and I'm still pressing my lower back into the floor versus dropping and having some sort of space where I can slide my hand underneath. So I want to think of tucking that pelvis under slightly, engaging the abs. I'm going to pull in, drop my heels, but keep that lower back pressed into the floor. This is something that I've incorporated into my routine for a while now. So when I do these, I'm slowly kind of pulling a little tuck, creating some flexion or rounding that lower back. Again, if you have a lot of pain in your hip or glute or in that kind of sciatic nerve position, this may not be the best for you. Find what works, something that you can maintain and do. So again, 10 repetitions here. Then after that, we're gonna come into a dead bug. Palms are gonna face each other, thumbs facing back, feet at about a 90-degree angle. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends. So left leg drops out, right arm drops out, but notice that I don't come completely to the floor. I'm still keeping my lower abs engaged, pressing that lower back into the ground. So I'll extend, then I'll come back to the starting position, and then I'll alternate. You also, if this is too much in your neck, you can relax your neck down, but again, you still want to engage the lower abs, pressing that lower back into the floor. So I personally do 10 on each side, so a total of 20. If you're new, I recommend starting off with 10 total, so 5 and 5 on each side. But this is going to allow you to focus on the lower abs. Again, find what works best for you. This is part of the series of what I've been doing into my routine. So again, if you have some sciatic issues, if you have some back issues, these are some exercises that can help. And the reason I share this is because my sciatic issues that I've been dealing with have been slowly getting better. Slow like hard or cold molasses, but it's getting better. So again, total of 20 or 10. Next exercise is more of a nerve floss. So I'm gonna keep my opposite leg in this triangle position. My left leg, I'm gonna come up, bring my hands interlocked to the base of the leg. I'm gonna start with that leg bent, about a neutral position with my ankle or my foot to my calf. Then I'm gonna extend that leg up, keeping this position as much as I can straight. Now I have relatively good hamstring flexibility, so I can get my ankle on top of my hip joint here, but if you cannot, you can always drop the leg like so. But the focus is to hold some part of your thigh as you perform this. So I'll relax, then extend, nice and controlled. You're gonna perform 10 repetitions of this nerve floss or leg extension on your one side. If you can't interlock your fingers like I have them here, like I said, you can go to the side if you want to grab the knee, but it shouldn't be anything where you're having to death grab and pull up. Now I will say everyone's a little different. The sciatic issue I've been having on my right side, if I actually brought my leg a little closer in and extended the leg, it actually felt better, which is off or weird or different because it wouldn't seem like that because it actually puts you in a position where that nerve might be pulled or adjusted suddenly. So again, 10 reps on one side, then we'll switch. So just to give you guys an example, this is my right side that I've been dealing with. I haven't done my exercise the past couple of days because I was traveling. But again, I like to start in this bent position. I'll slowly extend. The first one is a little slow for me because it's kind of hitting that end range of motion where I start to feel it in the hip or glute. So again, once I get a couple reps in, I then can move a little bit quicker if I want. Notice if it's kind of hard to see on that side, but my left hand kind of releases and I come into my inner thigh a little bit versus death gripping and holding on. Now I will say this right here is day and night different from when I started. When I was doing it, I had to actually drop my leg and maybe get to here and it was excruciatingly uncomfortable. Now I can get to the point where I'm here, and then I can extend the leg and get that ankle on top of my hip joint. Now I do still feel a little bit of pinching in my, I say, mid glute piriformis, kind of middle of butt area, but it is way better. Again, 10 reps there. Then we're gonna bring that ankle on the opposite side into this figure 4 stretch. A couple different options here. You can either stay here for 30 seconds, or you can lift that leg, grab your ankle and calf, hold here for 30 seconds, interlock the hands at the base of the hamstring, or the most intense is to interlock your hands at the base of that right knee if your left leg is up. So if I'm here, I wanna try to relax and completely have my back, my pelvis on the ground. Clearly I'm tight and have not stretched as much as I should have the past couple days, so this feels kind of tight. So I might just release to here, but I wanna focus on keeping my pelvis, my butt, my back, my shoulder blades all in contact with this mat here. Again, I might just kind of relax a little bit here. I wanna focus on pushing that knee out as I pull this leg into my body. 30-second hold here, then we'll switch. We'll go to the opposite side. Now, if you are really, really tight or you're having a lot of sciatic issues, I would recommend staying here. If you want to stay here and you feel good here and lifting your leg is not doable, stay here and just slowly kind of push that thigh away. I personally notice if I get closer to my hip joint and I push my hip joint away, try to create some space in that hip, that actually alleviates it and feels a little bit better. Again, everyone is different. This is my experience, and hopefully this will help you. So in this position, again, I'll hold here for 30 seconds. When I started doing it, I had to have my knee up here and I could barely lift my leg. I am now in the position where I can kind of push that thigh out. I can grab my ankle and thigh here, or ankle and calf. I can even now, if I go slow, I interlock my hands at the base of the thigh and I try to hold this position. You'll notice that my right knee is a lot closer to my body than my left knee when I do this. And recently, we'll see if I can do it today, I can interlock my hands at the base of the knee. Now, about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, this was impossible. There was no way I was gonna be able to do this. I could barely get to here. So if you are dealing with any sciatic issues, I know it's frustrating as F, and I know that it is difficult, but if you can have the patience and be diligent with your exercises, it will pay off. Again, 30 seconds here. I'm looking for when I do this is trying to keep my shoulders, my pelvis, all in contact with the ground versus being up. Ideally, this will allow us to get a deeper stretch in that hip and glute. So again, 30 seconds. These are just part of my exercises. If you guys are interested in a part 2 or another series of some of these sciatic issues or exercises, let me know. That is 1 round. If you can do up to 2 to 3 rounds, that'd be great. If only you have time for 1 round, do 1 round of everything. If you can do a 2nd round, that'd be great. A 3rd round would be kind of be extra credit. I typically do an average of 2. I will sometimes get a 3rd round in there if I have extra time. But again, these are just some exercises you can start off with. So just to recap, right, that first one was that glute bridge with that 10-second hold, right? The next one was essentially a tuck, leg tuck I'd call it, right? That leg tuck position. Then after that, we went into the nerve floss, the dead bugs. Went to the dead bugs, extension, opposite arm, opposite leg. Then we went into that nerve floss on both sides, and then we went into that figure 4. So again, 1 round to start off with. If you have more experience, 2 rounds. If you have more time, 3 rounds. If this was helpful and beneficial, and hopefully you found some relief if you performed these or did them into your routine, please share with others. Leave a comment below if you guys want to see a part 2 to this. Again, all these exercises have been helpful for me. It's been progress, it's slow and steady, but I promise you, if you are consistent and diligent with your routine exercises, you will have some success and hopefully a decrease in pain. Thanks for tuning in.